here live with Fultrend Studio, and here with me we have our very own SUG president, the president of Comrade Alhaji. So I can please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Alhaji Momoh, President of the Union Federal University.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, let's know your department and
Okay, I study history and international studies. I'm a founder of students.
okay. Thank you very much. Being the first president, first elected SUG president, what has been your achievements and things you've achieved so far?
As the first SUG president, one of the challenges we faced and were able to surmount was the issue of the increments in school fees. Upon our resumption of office, the school fees was increased, and with our intervention and discussion with the university management, we were able to reach a consensus, and the school fees was reduced from 51,000 to 46,000. And from there, we also encounter short of drugs in the university clinic, which we also took it upon ourselves to put the management on their toes, and the drug well supply because of our pressure on the management. And a lot of other things we were able to do. There was a time we encountered power supply problem on our campus, especially in most of our middle classes. Bulbs and the lighting and the fan, even the sockets were damaged and were spoiled, and we also wrote to the management that their atmosphere. So we wrote to the management, and the management heeded to our call, and the light was restored. It was restored. And recently again, we also encountered similar problem as the week that ended today. And personally, those of them who were on campus on Wednesday nights, they saw me practically fixing those bulbs in the classes, because it's our responsibility to make the university more conducive for scholarship. Students must have a conducive atmosphere too. Then on our social life, we have been able to, first of all, it is a tradition that when we have freshers admitted in our school, we welcome them on campus. And that we did in very wonderful atmosphere. And those of us that were there, there was witness that the freshers night was a huge success. Then we went straight to sports and also organized the first student union cup, which the Department of Geology emerged victorious, and all other sporting activities that we organize just in these few times that we have. And currently we are embarked on a parallel project that will be a legacy for us, which is a student relaxation center, which we are currently building on our campus. Just as the pioneer student union president, whatever we put in place should be something that the upcoming generation of students will come and build upon. And upon that, we were able to put a structure that will be a continuous thing, so that everybody coming on board will know that I have a responsibility to the state. Apart from 4 seats, the locust being tree in front of the Senate building, there is no place for our students to relax. And we looked at that and we discovered the need to do that for us. And that is the brain behind the ongoing project, which is on 90% completion. And by the special grace of God, we'll complete it and hand it over to the next administration and for students to use.
Alright, thank you very much. Now that you've listed your achievements for us, can we know your challenges you faced so far from when you've been elected to the present moment?
Yes, one of the most major challenges that we faced was the issue of funds. No association, no organization can survive without funds. But we were able, the university management, first of all, we applied to the university management for support, which though it delays, but at last we were able to get take-off grant from the university management. So, and other challenges of non-payment of school fees, students were denied access to write exam. And we are still on that matter because as we speak, so many students are yet to pay. And the second semester of this session we are about closing for the session. But like I told you, the plight of the student, the welfare of the student is what we bargain for. It's what we promise the student will do for them. And that is why we will not relax, we will not relent in our efforts to make sure that the management do what is needful for our students.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. It's time for another SUG election and departmental elections and elections everywhere. Okay, so what is your advice, your take-home advice for those that are contesting for the candidates for different posts, especially those for the presidency?
My advice for contestants is one, leadership or power belongs to God and gives to whoever he chooses to give. So my advice to them, the election as a do or die affair. Learn to play by the rules so that we have a peaceful campus, that we have a peaceful election. And to the general students, I also want to advise that they should watch the contestant closely and know the one that have their bias, and know the one that represent their interests, and not those that are ready tools or that are willing tools in the hands of some few to disrupt their future for them. I told some students sometimes ago that gone were those days of Alita Kita or whatever, as we choose to call it, that student unionism or student unionism should be seen as an antagonism. Student unionism in the 21st century has gone intellectual. If you have any challenges with the university management, you simply put up your paper with evidences and you argue out your point, and you bring the management to responsibility. Not until we carry out placards, but I am not saying we will not carry out placards, but again, we have to. In my longer speech, I remember I said that my administration will adopt the 3 C's program, that is consultation, consolidation, and confrontation. So it is when the first 2 fail that you can now adopt the last, which is confrontation. So my advice to whoever that got anointed to be the next president is that the unionism should not be, first of all, antagonistic. It should be, because I'm a student of conflict, and conflict, no war has been won on the battlefield. War are settled, are won even on the table. So I advise that they bring their issues to the table and let's discuss it so that they find a balance point to agree on the points. So that is my advice.
Thank you very much for your advice. Finally, at the last day of Congress, which held yesterday because our team was live there, so we noticed there was something about the GP for contestants, like from 3.00 to 3.50. What's your take on that? How do you?
Yes, I told them in the conference that personally I don't have any interest in the coming election, but the 3.5 or 3.0 cgpa is not something that could even arise even at this time, because one, the student, the pioneer, that is the interim executive, during their inauguration, I was party to the inauguration, and the student proposed 3.5, and the then dean of students said it is not that the university student handbook stipulates 3.0, and it was on that basis that the last election was conducted cgpa. This time around, I don't know where this notion is coming from that the president is trying to change some persons or try to favor some persons because of the CGP. The former interim administration was instructed to effect the change in the constitution, but because they just have 1 month to organize and finish their thing and leave, they could not effect the change. And it's something I inherited, and it's part of what I was handed over with. And in this time around, we now want to bring the 3.0 as it is in the student handbook to the constitution. And some persons are raising opposition or agitation. To me, that shouldn't be an agitation. But for what we said in the Congress yesterday, yes, this is what you are saying. But so it is never a decision of mine to bring the CGPA to 3.0. So that is what I want everybody to know. That I am only trying to, because even the student handbook stipulates that the residual power of the university management to regulate the activities of the student unionism is such that the position of that student handbook supersedes. So in this, even if you take it to the societal, Nigerian society, there is what we call a list of subjects that exist between the federal, the state, and the local government in the Nigerian context. That whenever there is a clash of interest between the federal government and the state government, the position of the federal government supersedes that of the state. And that is the situation we are in the federal university. That some government does not change the fact that the student handbook still remains supreme over the student union constitution, because the university management that designed the student what they are not fools, and we will not in any way, I will not in any way do anything that will contravene the student handbook, and I will also not do anything that will contravene the constitution. And that was why I told them, okay, if this is your agitation, this constitution existed last year and the election was conducted based on the instruction, not even the written instruction that go and effect this change in your constitution, and the electoral committee, the interim executive, use 3.00 for election. And some persons, even with that 3.00, contested, and they are in their office today. So today, this year election shouldn't be something different. But the only difference we are bringing now is maybe probably innovation that will make the election faster, because the last election took us up to about 11 p.m. before we could know who emerged as who in the election. But the coming election, we are planning that before 8, 9, 10, we should be able to finish the election and everybody goes. So that is what. So it's not a case that anybody should take it personal or whatever. Because as far as I'm concerned, Alhaji, I don't have a candidate. I'm not interested in anybody. Whoever that wins, whoever that God says is the next person, I'm ready, I'm willing to hand over and go. Because I don't have any person in mind. So, but like I told them in the Congress, I will definitely discuss it with the management through the Dean of Student Affairs. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for coming.